So this will be my first recap, streaming recap. Yeah, I'm doing a recap on my trades on the ticker EARS. Today they have this morning they have a press release about um trout shoe on some kind of medications. So I already saw that was spiking from 80 cents to one 120 140. So and then it really came back down to like 120, right? So we went from 140 to 120. With that, it's like a 10% 10 to 20% dip, which offer the opportunity for me to actually enter and did buy it, but I want to confirm that it still has strength. So I waited for it to break 135, in which I entered with 100 shares at 135, and then it did a quick spike to 139, and I sold half of my shares at 139, and then hold the other half for a move to test 150. 150 is the resistance, so it's gonna be really hard to break it. But if it's break, it could possibly go to 180. So with that, I held my 50 shares to one 150. It moved from, like really quick to 146, and then it dipped. I should have gotten out at 139 when it failed to move to 150. Instead, I held my shares all the way to 135, and there I tried to get out of my positions at 135, and I got 17. I sold some 17 shares at 135, and then I had to sell the other 33 shares at 134. And then it moved um, down to like the 120 area, and it came back up again. And this time, it's also break 135, so I entered with 40 shares at 136. 40 shares at 136, and it moved up really quickly to 143. I should have sold. I should have sold like above 137, which is cutting my losses when it failed to move higher than 146, because that showed that there is not enough strength for it to actually move higher. It's made lower high, and then yeah, I should have sold it like above 130. I held it hoping that it could go higher, and it broke 130, so I got out at 129. I got out at 129. Later on, it moved down even more to like the 110 to 120 area, and then moved back up and breaking with VWAp. So it's a breakout of VWAP at 130 for a move to test like 140, 150. Best if it's hit, it could come back to like 150. It moved really quickly to 138, 140, and then it just dipped like really fast. I was able to sell on that dip. I should have sold. I should have sold like a 130 for a break even. I have like so many opportunities to actually do it. It bounced to 128 and VWAP, which is support, to like 130. Should have sold, held it, and then it cracked 128. Yeah, it cracked 128. So it went to like 124, came back up to 127, and there I finally got my losses at 127. My overall loss was at my overall loss for today was $2.03. It was a small losses, but need to go count my losses even faster. E on the upside and on the downside if it doesn't crack like a cables, like the resistance at 150. Yeah, and that's my trading recap for today on EARS.